Okay, back at it with the super consistent YouTube uploads. Um, Been a minute, but I figure I'm 8 weeks out from a show now, so I should probably do something and post it. I haven't really been doing much of that recently. But hi, it's me, Stu. This is a leg day. I'm not going to talk about the leg day because it's the same fucking leg day I've been doing for ever now, with very few variations. So, yeah, just background noise, or maybe I'm the background noise. But I just want to kind of like recap my prep so far. It is June 8th, and I'm like 8 weeks out from my first show, Tampa, right now. But let's rewind a bit to about 20 weeks out. So I had a good off season. I got to 300 pounds. It was great. Well, it was uncomfortable, but it was a decent 300. And then I died a little bit down, a little to like 280 or something. Oh wow! I don't know if you can hear the thunder out there, but so yeah, I pulled down to like 280. Took some time off before starting prep at 14 weeks out, and everything was going good during that cruise period. And then I got sick as hell. It's like sick for like a month. I got some sort of nasal thing, and then it turned into bronchitis, and then that turned into pneumonia, and it just lingered forever. And basically, I finally got better from that after a bunch of corticosteroids and antibiotics and just suffering, and that it sucked a lot. I don't know why, dude, but I've since I've been in Texas, I feel like I've gotten sick a lot. Like, that was probably the third time I've gotten sick since I've been down here, which is way too much. But anyways, I finally got better and like started prep immediately. And right off the bat, like, pushed down pretty hard, like pulled a lot of food out, pulled me down from like 277 to like 263 or 4, something like that. And it was like that 277 I started at was like not a good look, because like I said, I've been sick and training had been fucked off and eating had been fucked off for like a month. Not entirely, but like it wasn't good luck. So big picture, like the plan for the prep was to like kind of get ahead of schedule and get lean quick, and then that would put me in a better position, like conditioning wise and like sensitivity wise, where I could jack my food back up, and then maybe grow a little bit. I don't know if grow is the right word, but like kind of fill myself out and get my body back into a happy position where it's consuming and processing a lot of food, because I didn't start there at 14 weeks out. But so I pushed down for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then I pulled my food back up, and I was a lot leaner after that first little push, and I kept my food high for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and then I pushed down for another week and a half, and then just earlier this week, like 5-6 days ago now, I pulled it back up again, and my weight has basically been, so that second push, I went from like 267 down to 260 or 259, and then it's just, I bumped my food back up like pretty high, like 750 carbs or something. Protein's probably like 450 or something, pretty low fats, but that's pretty high for me in prep, at least. And I just stabilized right at 260. I was just burned through all of it. So, and my body looked good, and I felt good, and it was in a good spot. So the plan kind of worked, which is great. So I've been on that higher food, like 750 grams of carbs, for about a week now, and I actually just polished off a bunch of In-N-Out because Blue told me to to kind of top me off for this week. And he's going to bump up my food even higher right now. I'll drop some pictures in here so you can see what I look like right now. But I think I could probably get in shape in like 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks of like straight dieting if I needed to. But I'm 8 weeks out, right? So what do I do? Well, I'm now in a position to kind of like maybe grow a little bit and get myself processing a lot of food and get my metabolism ramped up and be in a happy spot because I'm ahead of schedule, which is a good place to be in. So that's like the prep so far and the part before the prep, the pre-prep. And I'm happy with where I'm at now. I'm a little lighter than I thought I would be at this point. I think I'm heavier than I was at this point last year in prep at like 7-8 weeks out, but I look. I think I've grown more than. Like I look like I put on more than 10 pounds relative to like last year at this point. So I don't know. I'm happy with how things are. So yeah, I think that kind of covers the X's and O's so far. This year, I kind of feel a little bit more. I don't know what the right word is. Less excited about the shows that I'm doing. Like the last couple of years, every show that I did was always like the biggest show that I'd done up to that point. And at this point, it kind of feels like it's just, it's like going to work, you know? It doesn't mean that you hate going to work. Sometimes you hate going to work. But I'm not saying I hate going to work. But it's just kind of what you do now. So, like, I'm a competitive bodybuilder, so I'm going to compete at bodybuilding shows. And whatever happens, happens. I'm not really putting any expectations on myself because I just, based off of, the last couple of years' performances, like, I've done, like, decent, but not good enough to kind of have any, like, legitimately life-changing success. I'm not making a living off of, like, big old generous contracts, like some guys are, because I'm not good enough competitively and not famous enough. So it's not a good life plan to put all your eggs in one basket and like plan on making it big in a niche weird sport like bodybuilding as a career plan. So that's not what I'm doing. I am just gonna kind of keep on, coaching people. I make a little bit of money off of sponsor stuff, not much, and just focus on what I can control, as usual. Because I don't know, maybe I look great in Tampa and I just lose. It's happened before. Sometimes I look like shit. Vancouver, I look like shit, but I don't know what else I can do, and to get myself all revved up and excited for something that's pretty well out of my control. It's not me. It's not how I operate. So I'm just doing 2 shows this year. Unfortunately, I was planning on doing 4. There was gonna be, last year there was Vancouver, Chicago, Tampa, and Texas in that order, and all those shows were like 1 to 2 weeks apart. But this year there's only Tampa and Texas. They got rid of open bodybuilding in Vancouver and in Chicago. I haven't heard any like actual explanation why, but I can only assume it's because of, it just doesn't make sense financially. If you look at Tampa or Texas, those are really big bodybuilding hub cities. And if you look at Vancouver and Chicago, those don't have huge hardcore bodybuilding fan bases there. They're not especially Vancouver. But I mean, Chicago's not a small city, but I don't personally know anybody who lives there and is like doing this at a high level. But if you can't put butts in seats, and for the most part, bodybuilding fans are not, unless it's the Olympia or the Arnold, they're not going to travel well out of their way just to go to a pro show. If you can't put butts in seats and pay for that sanction fee and the prize money, because it's like $30,000 at least that the promoter has to pay the IFBB to hold the show, to hold an open show. And then it's about another $30,000 now for prize money for that show as well. So like, unless you can bring in another, I don't know, like $60,000 in ticket sales by having open guys there, which sounds kind of unlikely in cooler markets like those. It's kind of it doesn't make sense to have the shows with the open guys. At least the shows are still happening. It's just not open. So the only other shows like afterwards, after Texas, I think there's like 4 weeks later, there's one in Italy, and I think there's one in Germany 2 weeks after the Italy show. But that doesn't make any sense for me for a number of reasons, which I guess I'll probably talk about in the next video. We'll get to that later. But yeah, only got 2 shows this year, and anybody can jump in at any time and just rain on your parade. Be cool if I could qualify, but I am by no means expecting to, because I've learned better than to expect such things. But I mean, that's fine. My cruising speed right now is like, I'm a first call out guy usually. If I get lucky, I'll win a show. But I'm not like a shoe-in to be like top 1 or 2 yet, like some guys are. I don't know if I ever will be, but fuck it, we ball. We're gonna show up anyways, and at the very least, I'm gonna have a lot of fun. I always have a lot of fun. It might not seem like it, but that's just my personality. I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't come across like I'm having fun, but trust me, I'm having fun. What else is happening right now? I've been in Texas for like over 6 months now. I like Texas. Texas is cool. There's some things I don't like about Texas, but there's some things that I do like about Texas. Texas is very boring landscape-wise. There is not much to see. There's no hills. There's some trees. Where I live in the DFW metro area, it's basically just freeways and strip malls as far as the eye can see. I'm not a big fan of that personally, but it hasn't gotten super hot yet, but it does get pretty goddamn hot, which is kind of cool because there's some outdoor gyms here like Metroflex Plano. That's pretty close to me. I train there every once in a while, and I'll probably make a video down there one of these days, record one of these sessions or something. But that'll be fun when I get deeper into prep and do some outdoor training. That's fun stuff. I haven't really gone outside of DFW all that much. I haven't gone and explored Austin or Houston. I have no reason to explore Houston. I hate Houston. I've been there a couple times, and it's just, I don't like it. To each their own, but not a fan. Austin, I don't want to go to Austin unless I can have a beer and eat barbecue and do fun stuff, which I can't do right now because I'm prepping for these shows, man. It's a drag. So I guess I'll try to do that when this is all over with. But I will say, I have a confession to make. One thing that is super cool down here is a lot of people are into guns. And I've always been into guns, but living in the Northwest, It's less common for people to be into guns over on the left coast, if you know what I mean. But like, I have purchased a couple of guns in the last few weeks. I guess that's going to be my impulse purchase of choice for this year. I bought a suppressor. It's my first suppressor, which is pretty cool. And I got two handguns. I got a double stack 1911 9mm and this adorable little pocket 380 it's called a Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0. Look it up. It's so cute. It fits right in your pocket, and it's a fun little gun. I bought a lot of ammo, but that's kind of a fun thing I've been doing. I've been going shooting every once in a while because people are into it down here, and there's good ranges, and there's a lot of knowledgeable people. So, I obviously it's kind of expensive. You know, you can only have so many expensive hobbies. Bodybuilding is already an expensive hobby, but it only counts as like half a hobby because it's kind of my job. So I'll give myself a pass on that a little bit. I shouldn't get into cars. I really like those too, but that's a bridge too far. We're coming towards the end of the session here. Yeah, I hope you like my leg workout. Life's pretty good down here. I'm having fun in prep. Shit's not hard yet. Body looks good. Shit feels good. And we're going to have a good time, one way or the other. You know, whatever happens here in prep and at the shows. I'm going to keep doing these regularly. And if I don't, I'm gay. So if I don't post another one of these in a week, comment down below and say Stewart's gay. Bye.